I'm Courtney. I'm the Assistant Director with the Attleboro Council on Aging. Welcome to What's the Buzz? Today I am here with Lolly and Andrew from South Coastal County Legal Services. How are you both doing today?
We're doing good. Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Thank you for joining us. We'd love to learn more about South Coastal County Legal Services and what the mission is.
South Coastal County's Legal Services is a non-profit law firm. Our services are free, and our mission is to achieve justice for eligible clients through community-based legal advocacy.
We serve all of southeastern Massachusetts, so we always describe that as like Brockton on down through the Cape and Islands.
Mm-hmm. Can you tell us more about the Senior Law Project?
The goal of the Senior Law Project is to help economically and socially vulnerable older adults age independently. We do this by helping them make sure they are getting access to the benefits that they need, like Mass Health, Medicare, food stamps, and Social Security.
What are the most common legal services that you are providing to folks 60 plus?
Housing in many aspects of housing.
It's a big one for sure.
Yeah,
absolutely. And so, as we all know, we are going through a housing crisis, and the rising homeless population is for folks 50 plus. So, what advice do you have to someone who is experiencing being evicted or homelessness?
Well, I'd like them to know that, if they do receive a notice to quit, that they don't have to be out at the expiration of that notice to quit, whether if it's a 14-day or a 30-day, that only a judge in court can order them out. And they can, after the notice to quit expires, then they will receive a summons which they can respond to. And if they reach out to our office, hopefully we'll be able to give them some advice on the eviction process if we can't represent. But they should definitely reach out to us, and just to know that they panic because you receive this notice to quit and think you have to be out by that expiration.
Or they don't want to deal with it, and so there are programs like ours and folks like Lolly, a long-serving paralegal in our office, to help people who are in those situations. I'd add the other part too, for those who are living in public or subsidized housing. Often on that first notice they have a right to file a grievance, or sometimes an informal hearing to try to work it out with their housing provider. So really acting, as Lolly, as you were saying, when you get that notice to quit, but knowing that you can take a breath and consider your options.
Sure. And we also do benefits, and benefits is big, because what I see is people getting older population getting overpayments in Social Security, unemployment, and just to know that they can file paperwork and to reach out to us on that issue. We do consumer issues with scamming, bankruptcies. We have a really good consumer unit.
Yep.
And we also have a family law unit that, if someone, a victim of domestic violence, and we have that also. So we do many other things. A nursing home, a hospital discharges are not being able to pay a bill, and then they're going to be discharged. They should reach out to us for that also.
So you guys cover a wide variety of services that you can assist people with.
Yes, and while Lolly and I are focused in our elder law unit on people aged 60 or older, again, South Coastal County's Legal Services is a general civil law firm, so only civil, not criminal, but right, at Lolly, as you said, there's a huge range. Our subsidiary, the Justice Center, can help with immigration issues, so if there are people who are not lawfully, citizens or things like that, we do have an immigration unit through that, and an education program. So for those are students having issues, so it's a really wide net. I think, Lolly, you'd agree with me that we usually tell people, just call.
Just call.
Reach out and ask.
Because you never know.
Yeah.
You never know. You just never know. And even with me working for legal services for 42 years and now falling into the elder law project, and just recently felt like I had a consumer issue. So I was like, look at me, I'm part of the elder law unit.
Now, how are you protecting the information that folks are giving to you when you're consulting with them?
So all of our information in the office or through our computer system is confidential. We also we keep it secure in our office or on our computer system.
So we do often have to ask people, particularly if they're calling for a Social Security issue, at some point in the advocacy, you're going to need to know your Social Security number,
Yep.
right? But at that initial point of intake, people don't need to really provide that information. But we do have to do like a conflict check. But we are a law firm, so anything, as you were saying, like anything told to us is kept confidential. When you're speaking with the firm, it's even privileged, which means that we can't be forced to testify about it. So we take security of your information very seriously, and are always happy to work with clients who are concerned about that. If they want to come in, or if they need to do a home visit, like they prefer to talk to somebody in person, we can do that just to make them feel more at ease.
Sure, okay. Yes, because South Coastal Legal Services comes to the Council on Aging once a month, but that's great to know that you guys can do phone calls or go to someone's home if they don't feel comfortable leaving or going to a public place. Yeah. For folks 60 plus, is there an area that you feel like you're going to be providing more consultation on looking forward to the future?
Yeah, I think that the largest area that I would expect to see changes in are concerning mass health and or Medicare programs. Certainly there are a lot of changes happening on a federal level, and as those changes trickle down, people may be impacted by that. It's hard to say at the moment what exactly that's going to look like, but for example, I think I saw that Medicare is demoing, which means they're piloting, they're testing whether they want to have prior authorization. And prior authorization, for those that don't know, is when your provider has to ask your insurance provider first if it's okay for you to have that service. So for example, they're demoing that in 6 states. One of those states is, we're not included in Massachusetts, but that could come down the line.
Sure,
now, will that be next year? Would that be 3 years? Will it even happen? I don't know. But that's where I think we're where I would expect more issues to arise. But as we've also said, housing's always kind of unfortunately steady. There's always really a need for eviction defense. But I think those 2 federal programs is where I would expect people to be asking for more help.
Now, for someone that's turning 60, do you have any advice for them from a legal standpoint? Any guidance?
Well, to consider and apply for benefits. It's for the benefits that they feel they're qualified for, and whether they're going to retire early or later, and know they're going to get a reduction if they retire earlier than their retirement age, and also turning 65 and being eligible for Medicare, and if they're still working, not needing it because they have insurance through work. But all this, these are all decisions that they're going to have to make, and
they can be a little confusing too. So I'm sure, Courtney, you agree that Shine counselors can be your best friend at your local Council on Aging, particularly for walking through kind of those Medicare planning questions. But then, Social Security, I think we are seeing some people take their benefit earlier than what's called your full retirement age. So based on your birth year, your age might be a little different. For all of us at this table, I believe it's 67, or at least certainly for Courtney and I. So for most people, it will steadily be 67. But if you take it 5 years before then, you can claim it, but it's a 5% reduction each year that you do that. Conversely, if you delay, like if you claimed your benefit at 72, you'd get a 25% increase, because that's 5% for 5 years. So there's kind of those and you just kind of weighing that. Are you still able to work, interested in work, still doing that? So I think really considering what's going to make the most sense for you, in your next chapter of life.
Now, if someone wants to reach out to South Coastal County Legal Services, how should they do that?
Well, there is, we have an online website where you can do an online inquiry through our website at southcoastalcountylegalservices.org, or you can call in to our intake line at 1-800-244-9023, and the intake line is Monday through Thursday from 9 to 2. You can also call our administrative secretary at 774-487-3246, and that is Monday through Friday from 9 to 5. We go beyond the intake hours, and I always get referrals from the Council on Aging. As you know, Council on Aging reach out to me also. So those are the different ways to contact us.
My brief addition is, if you're using the website, just know that it is our acronym, so it's sccls.org.
Oh, that's right.
Just for those.
That's right.
It's okay.
Well, thank you both so much for joining us today. Do you have anything else you'd like to share with our viewers?
Just reiterating, as Lolly said, we're a free service. Our elder law unit specializes in, as you've heard, a wide variety of things. In particular, we are trying to emphasize that we can help people who are not who are having issues with Medicare coverage of items. So be checking your Medicare summary notice. If you see something not covered, ask us. We can look into it and help you look into that. But otherwise, we're here for anyone who needs some legal advice.
Wonderful.
Right, and if if you didn't get the numbers right now, and that if you reach out to the Attleboro Council on Aging, that they will refer you. You will refer them to us.
Yes.
As what's been happening. So.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for joining us on What's the Buzz. If you are interested in speaking to South Coastal County Legal Services, you can feel free to contact them or call the Attleboro Council on Aging, and we can get you connected. Have a great day.